This video is an explanation of what a Kettlewell ERGO button is and why it's designed the way it is and what the benefits are to the player. It's very, very different from a stock button. On a Suzuki, this has an edge that runs that's hard all the way around. There are no edges that are hard on this. It is a larger diameter button and it is extended out in space more. Let's explain all those dynamics. First of all, I think we need to realize that we use the button a lot when we're playing, a lot. And so its ergonomics to the body and the hand are important in the same way that on a trumpet, you know, the valves and the buttons that are on there are important to the player. These are important to us. And ergonomics, you know, stuff from 100 years ago is very different from today, but this button is pretty dated. That's back from another era. So ergonomics and comfort mean a lot. I think that one of the principal benefits of this type of an ergo button is that it does not have any hard edge, which means that no matter what the angle of attack is, if it's this or this or this or this or this or this, it's always comfortable to the hand. Okay, so not having, it's kind of a bulbous shape. Now this is one that was just made for a 270 with a slider. This is an old owner, but again, quite large. Brought the button comes out a little bit. And what is that all about? Well, a standard button, when you compress it on this harp, you're going to be hitting your face with your hand every time you activate the button, unless you have it like this, which you're not going to. People play them like this, and so their hand hits their nose or their face. So by bringing this button out, okay, it gets it away from the face, and it also makes it a little bit more comfortable. In my opinion, you know, this shape is a good shape in play. But that would be a personal preference thing. And this is quite a bit larger than anything I've ever made before. I just, you know, it's a prototype. It's larger. It's called a big. And the other ergo buttons I made in the past were not this large. Okay, and of course it has two decorative Art Deco lines cut in it too. So you have comfort shape-wise this way, no hard edge, more extension this way, and a larger diameter. Why is that important? What is the point of the diameter of the button? This being an old type, you've seen these. It's quite a bit larger than the old ones. These were on many, many harps for many years. You probably have that. Well, the smaller the button, the more it would hurt your finger when you hit it, and the larger, the more comfortable. But you don't want to get too large because you don't want lateral pressures on the slide. You want it pretty much in. So this is probably as big as I would go. But so you have the size of the diameter of the button, the smoothness on the edges, the shaping at its back. This one is quite flat at its back edge, and this one has a bit more curvature. Again, it's a prototype. Okay, so we have those characteristics, and of course the extension out. I mean, you could bring it all the way to here, you could bring it to here, you could bring it to here. So those things shift the ergonomics of play. I call them ergo buttons, ergonomic buttons. There is no one right answer for everyone. Someone with smaller hands, hey there, little doggy, hush, hush. That's boo-boo. Somebody with smaller hands might want a little smaller button, but they're definitely going to want to not have that hard edge to bite because you're hitting it there all the time. You want it to be ergonomic. A lot of things from 100 years ago, they've been changed ergonomically, including hammers and even screwdrivers, how they're made. This is a button from a long time ago. This was a design from a long time ago. These are ergonomic. This is a slider, and that's something I invented that If you want to learn about it, go to YouTube and history of the Kettlewell frictionless mouthpiece slider. So what someone wants in an ergo button, that's up to them. You know, they say how big they want them, how long they want them, the issues they're having in play, what they want to be more comfortable, and maybe the look that they're looking for too. But again, just so you can see it, this is a Kettlewell Ergo button. It's Kettlewell frictionless mouthpiece slider. The Ergo button is just exactly what you might think. It's about a more comfortable button in play, more comfortable to the hand, understanding that we hit these all the time. This one again is called a big